you don't want to do any harm, but at the same time, you want to snap people out of their delusions, their programs. We've all been there. We've all been in them. We've all to pull somebody into self-awareness. I guess they have to eventually get there on their own, between them and God, Like this lady here, she was driving crazy. She's not self-aware of what's going on around her. She thinks she's the only one on the highway, To think outside the simulation is a whole new ball game. Most people will never escape it. They're all worried about their little issues and their little problems. And then, what do I do about this? Well, 1,000 other people have gone through what you've gone through. This is not new. If they have a flat tire and they're sitting in the car, what am I going to do? I got a flat tire. You got a spare in the back, don't you? That's the reason you have a spare in the back. My spouse left me. What am I going to do? You should have been preparing for that anyway, because they could die at any moment. What do you mean? What are you going to do? You get up, you go to work, and you pay your bills. What's weird though is I notice when you're going through the process to escape the simulation, like let's say your spouse does leave, and you're calling, what do you think's going on? Where she's at? And she's got all these flying monkeys that she's talking to, and they like to see you upset. And then when you're no longer upset, so when you say, I see through this game, I'm not upset anymore. Bye. Then those flying monkeys try to get you upset. They try to bring it back. It's like, what? Oh no, I lost my job. Go get another one. Oh no, my car, blah, blah, blah. Go trade it in for another one. It's getting ridiculous, to be honest with you. It's getting ridiculous. After enough cycles, you should have seen the patterns over and over and over and over. And you have the internet. You can just Google it with AI. Hey AI, this happened to me. How do I solve it? How did 20 million other people solve it so I can solve it? Okay. The reason for the repeat cycle, trouble, stuff, relationship junk, stupidity, the triggers, all that stuff is to take you out of the simulation, to get you to become self-aware, awareness. Step outside of it, look at yourself okay, so let's say something upsets you emotionally, right? You step outside of it from your higher self. When we see Jesus, we'll be like him. So your higher self, there's nothing, You're already seated in the heavenlies. So you're already seated in the heavenlies. And so you look at yourself, why am I being emotional? Why does it upset me? Why do I believe the scarcity lie? Why do I believe the news? Why do I worry about the politics? It's going to work out. You take yourself out of the situation, you look at it from the outside in. You do the inner work, but you step outside of it looking at the outside in. See if that guy had a flat tire. Just talking about a flat tire. I don't know what he's doing. Most of the time there's a crisis. It goes back to crisis. You try to pre-plan, you try to prepare. Prepare is pre-cut. You try to prepare before the problem happens. You can't always do that. So when it happens, all you do is say, how did they handle it? I read all these comments about these people who were married for 20, 30 years and they finally get free. I wasn't free. I was under a narcissistic abuse. I'm still under trauma. How do you heal trauma? Okay, let's talk about that. How would you heal trauma? How would you heal trauma? I know it's not going to happen overnight, but how would you do it? If you really, some people don't want to heal trauma. That's the sad part. They don't want to heal trauma. They don't want to heal it. Let's talk about it. How would you heal trauma? PTSD, any of it. Well, you would Google it, and you would find out that bees, when some of the people from the military come back, they listen to the bee sounds, and that helps them have they get healed listening to the bees. There's certain kind of chemicals and all that. But even if you wasn't in the military, how do you heal the same trauma, this MK Ultra mind control game that they're playing on you and everybody else? How do you heal this? If all the noise from the system is causing trauma and program, how would you heal it? You cut it off. Cut the noise off. If your body, let's say you get hurt. Look at that crazy person. Let's say you get hurt, all right? How do you heal trauma? Well, you rest. You go to sleep. Take some pain pills. Relax. And you slowly integrate back in. So let's say you've had trauma in life. You wake up, oh, I've been under a trauma mind control my whole life. So you finally wake up. So what do? One thing, if you had enough money saved, you just take a year off work and just get by yourself. For real. You get by yourself. And don't expect anybody to help you get healed, because most people have trauma, and they're going to be saying you're crazy. Like when I saw the Shekinah glory and I was decoding this reality, 99% of the people said you're crazy. Only a few understood it. You're crazy. So if you're trying to heal from trauma, I mean, even if you say, let's say you worked over here at this store over here, and you say, you walk in and you go in one morning and you realize this place is dysfunctional and it is a toxic environment, and you tell somebody, you tell the boss or you tell a coworker, this place is toxic, and they say, no, it's not. It's okay. Everything's good. Well, this whole situation is toxic down here. So don't expect anybody on the outside to hear what you're saying, unless there's people that's already woke up to the toxicity of this place and reality in general. So you can go to them, talk to them. But the way you would heal trauma in your body is the way you would heal trauma emotionally, right? Because it's a fractal. You got to get away from everything, rest, get your vitamins right. Other people who are toxic, you definitely don't want to get their advice. You want to get advice from people who are healthy. Be careful who you listen to. If you pull a muscle, you're going to have to rest that muscle. So if you've been in nothing but toxic environment, on your days off, study how to heal. Get around, listen to healthy teaching, healthy people. Listen to Bible teachers. Get in the Word, meditate on the Scripture. Biggest way to heal trauma is find you some work that you enjoy doing and do it. Enmesh yourself into some labor, because if you go back to Genesis, be fruitful and multiply, right? Enmesh with a job or a career or something you enjoy doing. And the people who are always trying to pull you back to the past, to the memory, the trauma, the delusions of the past, and you gotta let it go.